MyT. Morning, and welcome back to another edition of the MyT Sports Podcast. I am your host, the one and only talent, the 17th Wonder Taylor. Yo, it is another en fuego day in the hottest city in the world. We coming at you live and direct from South Florida. It is officially September 16th, right, where we have highs today of 89, lows of 77, current temperature right now about 83 degrees. We got about a 50% chance of rain. We just probably go rain today. This is officially Volume 9, Episode 3, but track 549 of the MyT Sports Podcast. And boy, do we have a big show for you guys today. We have it all. And if you guys are trying to connect with the podcast to find everything MyT Sports, go ahead and click on that little Linktree link that you see scrolling at the bottom of your screen. That's the one to the left. I gotta change the mirror on this. And everything else in the background. Thinking out loud, letting the inside voices out. Right, Philly's on the goal line early. I'm rewatching this Philly game. When we start off on the podcast, this is exactly where we're going to start off. It's on some Thursday night football, right? We got a big show for you guys today. Really, really big show for you guys today, right? As you guys can see, we're doing a Saturday morning show. Normally, you guys get a Friday night show, but today you get a Saturday morning show. And again, if you guys want to call into the show, let's go ahead and pop on that little link. Anything you want to link to MyT Sports, you catch on that little link. But if you want to call into the show, let's go ahead and download the Podbean app. And with the Podbean app, you'll be able to call in, interact with the show. But the chat lines are open regardless if you want to call in or not. All chats on, all features come in. Actually, like we got our first chat covered in. Oh, no. That's just me telling you guys to check out the Linktree link. We're going to talk about some Thursday night football today as we got that replaying in the background. We got our birthday shout-outs that we're going to go through. As you guys know, we give a birthday shout-out to everybody that had a birthday since the last time that we was on the air. We do that at the beginning of every single podcast. So if you want to hear your birthday shout out, you go ahead and you make sure you stay tuned. You know anybody that had a birthday on the 14th, 15th, or 16th, you go ahead and you start putting them in the names in the comment. You start adding them at the show so they can hear their birthday shout-outs. That's coming up to you, and it's just moments away. We're gonna talk some Yankees talk as they managed to break even. Ooh. We got some Colorado beef. Like, who thought out of all the things that will come out of Colorado, it will be beef? But we got some Colorado beef that we're gonna get into. We got a Blue Chew promo code for you guys to get so that you guys got some things so that you can get into. We're gonna talk about some WNBA playoffs. We got our week 2 NFL picks, and we're gonna maybe gonna do some division winners, and of course whatever other news that we find delightful, we go ahead and pop that off to you as well. But you know what we say here, folks, regardless of the time and regardless of the weather, it's always a blast on the MyT Sports Podcast. Woo! So let's start talking. Back at it like a sports fanatic. MyT Sports. I'll tell you, very, very slowly, I'm getting back into the swing of things. It's the 3rd episode back since our summer vacation. And boy, what a summer vacation it was. I'm telling you guys, like, I had a whole list of things that happened over the summer. And I don't think I talked about any one of those. I put them in rhyme. You guys want to hear that? I did like a summer report, put it in rhyme, like had things like I was over here, and yo, Beyonce said you like room, you shot cop. It's not Joe Biden son with her, then coke, a little bit of smoke, like shit like that, right? Excuse me, little shit like that, right? We had ready for you guys. We'll see if we squeeze that in. My nose tickles. That ain't that kind of thing. I know we say we from South Florida, but I just blew my nose before the beginning of the podcast. I don't know if you guys heard. That's what it sounded like you had a car stalling, like in the back during the countdown. If you guys were here for the countdown, bless your heart. Thank you guys for listening that early, right? But if you sound like you heard a car stalling in the background, that was me just blowing my nose. Right, but you know what? Let's not stall anymore. Let's go ahead and start off the podcast the way that we start off, like to start off every single show, and that is with our birthday celebration. So you know what I'm gonna tell you to do? I know you may think it's early, but it ain't early for me. Whatever, we up, we in here, right? So get your beer, get yourself a shot, roll a joint, roll a blunt, pack a bowl, or a steamroller. Well, it's time for us to celebrate with some birthdays, right? We go something like this, right? Because it's your birthday. We said it's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. But because it's your birthday, we sing happy birthday. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. All right, folks, we got a couple of birthday celebrations that we want to give out, right? A couple birthday shouts we want to give out. First, let's start out with September 14th, right? Got a couple birthdays we want to give out to. One to a former classmate of mine, David Allen. David Allen also is a DJ, right? Shout out, if I remember his name correctly, his name is DJ Creep, right? All right, don't judge him by the name. Good dude, right? Great DJ as well. But go ahead and check out DJ Creep. I can't remember the last time on the last club I remember him being able to DJ at, but look him up. I think I DJ Creep with a K. Just one K. Right? Also want to say happy birthday to a former co-worker of mine, right? Shavonna Eckford. Happy birthday to you as well. That wraps up for the 14th. Let's move on to the 15th, right? We got a birthday for a homeboy of mine named JoJo. Happy birthday, JoJo. Right? Also, happy birthday to another homeboy of mine named CeeLo Civics. I gotta tell you something about this one. You know, there's some people when they introduce themselves, and you don't realize that the name they introduced themselves with is their real name. I didn't realize this was his real name forever. Right, so happy birthday to you, Sela. Right? And then we get to today. Happy birthday to one of my homegirls, Jacqueline Meso Hedek. I hope I said that right. I hope that was a soft J, like Hedek, and not a Meso Jedek. Right? I'm home this Hedek. Right? Hope I said that right. Was there any R's in there for me to roll? Meso Hedek. No, there's no R's in there. All right, and then also, I want to say happy birthday to also the best big brother in the world, and because today's also my brother's birthday, right? So happy birthday to Nick. I was about to say his Facebook name, right? Because his Facebook name says Nick the Bad Guy Harvey, but he is not a bad guy whatsoever, right? He's a big old teddy bear. Love my brother to death, right? He has been a great example as a big brother, as a man, and as a family man as well. I was gonna say, as a husband, right? He marks off all the check marks. He does. He really does. As a big brother and as a man, he definitely knocks off all the check marks. He's a great example to have, right? If you're a younger brother, I just want to tell you that I love you and happy birthday, Nick. And that wraps up all of my birthday shots. Happy birthday, David, Siobhan, Joe, CeeLo, Jacqueline, and Nick. We hope you party hard, you enjoy everything, you regret nothing, but more importantly, you continue to stay MyT. This is your weekend. Flex on these hoes. Flex on these hoes, MyT. It's your time, baby. It's your time. Cut my music. No, seriously, cut the music. Do my damn arm out. Shit, no, I'm fucking with you. Seriously though, yo, I'm a birthday celebrator, right? I'm a big birthday celebrator. Cheers. Actually, there are a lot of cheers in here. You know what? I think you guys will be able to hear me as I do this. Right? I'm gonna step away from the camera for a second because, and you know what? This is one of those times I probably need to start getting like another behind the scenes cam so that you guys can walk with me as I step away from the camera just to go get some other shit so that we can bring it to the podcast, right? But it is a birthday celebration. That was just regular. That was just regular juice in my solo cup. Hey, I fill you up. Let's have a party. Let's have a party. Right? We just getting the day started. Cause found out. Wait, no. Found out nothing. Never mind. Right? So, oh no. I'm tripping. I did. Yeah, found out we was gonna try to surprise my brother, right? And go take him to breakfast and something. I really surprised him. Last minute, hey, see if you want to get some breakfast. Nope. Wifey and the niece, right, or his daughter, right, and the kid, they already cooked him breakfast and everything. So we got our drinks ready. We took a little birthday drink. Took our little sweetie sweet. Yeah, lot of mercy. If you guys don't know, that's Jamaican for excuse me. Lot of mercy. Right? Do I have a drop for that? I used to. Man, it's been so long since we've been here. This was a good summer. This was a really good summer. I ain't gonna lie. I keep telling you guys don't understand how fully detached I was this summer. I know you guys are telling me like, yo, stop bullshitting. Yo, stop talking. I got this. We're gonna take a shot too. I'm gonna need a bigger shot than this. You know what? Let's do this. Let's finish this off. Ooh, that was just lemonade. It's just sweet as fuck. God damn. So, I'm gonna drink a little screwball. Right, this that peanut butter whiskey. I know you guys are wondering, like, peanut butter whiskey? Yeah, I know how it sounds, but it's delicious in small doses, which is what a shot is, right? So, I'm taking the first birthday shot from my brother today, and for all you birthday people, as we go ahead and wrap up this birthday segment because we can't sit here too long, right? We got some sports to talk about, and at best, this is only a 3-hour show. And they were like, God damn, 3 hours? Okay, maybe 2. I guarantee you, I'm gonna give you a strong hour and a half. I'm gonna give you a strong hour and a half, and then maybe that middle hour 31 to 2:30. I'm just kind of going through the motions, right? To just kind of like letting things flow. Benadryl probably would have kicked in by then, and so would have everything else. And in that last half an hour, I realized, oh shit, I'm almost at the end. Let me go ahead and go strong. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it. Oh, show's over. Cut the curtains. We're done. Cheers. All right, let's get into a little Thursday night football, right? That's actually our first topic of the day. So let's first things first. Thursday night football. We had. I don't want to say this game was as close as it was. To be honest with you, Minnesota loses to Philadelphia in Philly, 28-34. And y'all look sexy over here. All right, sorry, my bad. I know I'm not the only one that blows kisses to themselves when they catch themselves in a sexy moment, like in an image or in a reflection. You know what I mean? Any kind of reflection, camera, mirror, window, phone screen, laptop screen, sliding door. I know anyone. You look at this, I'm like, oh shit, who's that motherfucker? Like, yo, like if I wasn't straight, fuck, pause. That's a big pause. Oh man, 2nd and 17. Let's see. Philly drops back. Play action. Little dink and dunk for about 1 yard. Has him try to get back to rest. I don't even know if he got back to the line of scrimmage. Did he get back to the line of scrimmage? Did he gain 7 on that? It's like 3rd and 10? Or was that 3rd and 17 still? Mm. Listen, this Minnesota and Philly game kind of went how most of us thought it was. If you remember what not only did we think that Philly was gonna win, almost everybody that was on the podcast. I think Ronnie called into the podcast, he thought it was gonna win. Squirt was on the podcast, he thought it was gonna win. We had Chill on the podcast, he thought it was gonna win. We had numerous callers and audience members. They text in Twitch, YouTube, El Gato. Oh, you on? Oh shit, El Gato. I didn't even see. Yeah, El Gato. I'm everywhere. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Twitch. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter or X. Yeah, you should be able to find it everywhere. Hopefully, if everything is working right. That's the big thing. I didn't even see El Gato there. Haven't seen El Gato in a while. Hope he didn't leave before I was able to see his message. That's the only thing about it. It's the messages from the call-in line. If I had a way that I can easily see those while potted, like that would make things really simple. Like that would super simplify things. But unfortunately, that is not what we have. And unfortunately for a lot of people, we didn't have Philly covering that spread. Philly won the game. But if you guys remember, they were a 6.5 point favorite. Let's see, were they a 6.5 point favorite that night too? Because some of these lines have changed. All right, a lot of the numbers that we got already for Sunday, obviously, as you guys know, have changed by now. Like I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Buffalo and Las Vegas spread has changed. The Jets and Dallas spread, I think, has changed as well. Am I correct on that? Dallas and Jets, that one has changed. And Vegas and Buffalo, that one has changed. We'll talk about both of those in a minute. And this is a change from when we talked about them on Wednesday. So we'll keep you guys up to date. Now, where I go to, that's what I was supposed to do. Just remember, just came to me. It's okay. This is all me. Again, inside thoughts coming out. Where I go to for my betting odds is obviously the site that I utilize for my bets, which is called MyBookie. Listen, it's out there. It's here. It's here for me. It's here for you. It's here for those that are still in states that haven't become fully progressive yet. And listen, I can say it's fair enough to call them out because it's like living in a state that hasn't legalized marijuana as of yet, right? Or let's just say decriminalized, because you don't want the government fully controlling marijuana. You just don't want to be charged for it. You don't want to get in trouble for it when you have it on. You just want to be treated like a pack of cigarettes. Like, oh, you smoke? You got a spear split for me? Sure, officer. Here you go. Try that in a small town. Or try that in a big town. Whichever town you want to try it in. But all I know is that Minnesota tried to get a W in Philadelphia, and that wasn't going, and that did not happen. But Philadelphia didn't help the moneymakers or the odd makers in any way. I don't want to say this is what they call a bad beat, because it's not like they lost it on the very last second, but that half a point that they needed, right, or that one full point that they need. And honestly, I thought that Philly would cover that spread. I can't remember if I thought that Philly. But I thought I said that Philly would cover that spread. I can't remember. I'll have to go back and listen to Monday's show or Wednesday's show, whichever day that was. Everything is starting to hit me already. Just to let you guys know, right now, mark it right now. 32 minutes, 20 seconds. Everything is hitting me right now. The shot, the Benadryl, the weed, the beer, all of it. They're all right now having a nice little party inside my head. Like even and they're singing My Solo Cup. Wishing Okay. Let's continue. right? Because we're here today. It's Saturday. I showed up. You showed up. We all showed up. You know who also showed up? Kirk Cousins. Now we don't normally like to talk about losers, right? And Kirk Cousins is I don't want to say a glorified loser, but he's a lovable loser. I feel that everybody enjoys a little Kirk Cousins, and it gets it gets predictable in a way because Kirk Cousins right now is the like I know he's gained some respect from the quarterback shit, right, that he did recently. Right? But Kirk Cousins is honestly like the barometer of mediocrity in a sense. Right? If you have to determine if you have a good quarterback or not, you kind of say, is he better than Kirk Cousins? Or is he worse than Kirk Cousins? If he's better than Kirk Cousins, you have a decent quarterback. You at least have a starting quarterback, maybe even a franchise quarterback on your hand. If he's worse than Kirk Cousins, then you gotta go. I feel like for a while, Kirk Cousins has been the meter, like the meter of good or bad, right? He's been the measuring stick. He's also been the ultimate 50-50 guy. He's the replacement of Ryan Fitzpatrick. And the reason why I'm even talking about Kirk Cousins so much right now is because Kirk Cousins is tied into my Jets team right now. How, you say? Well, he's tied into the Jets because as the New York Jets have Aaron Rodgers going now, and they're looking for somebody to possibly hold down the fort and help the Jets make the playoffs. I don't understand some of this philosophy, but these aren't my words. This is me telling you what I'm hearing. Right, and help the Jets make the playoffs and not waste a year. Kirk Cousins' name is coming up because Minnesota Vikings have a horrible schedule, a horribly difficult, hard schedule. Pause. Right, but they have a horrible schedule to begin the podcast. All phone lines or all chat lines are open. Elgato, I saw you somewhere, Elgato. See if we get Elgato back. Elgato's always good. Is always good to have on the podcast. Let me go ahead and send him his speaker invite. So if he pops back up on podbean, he should be able to come in automatically. That's the only thing about it. I don't, and maybe I need to check the settings. But Podbean needs a sounder for when people join your room. They really do. They need a sounder for when people join your room because I don't know. I be everywhere. Thank you. Payment received. Thank you. You're welcome, I should say. That's my credit card, people. Got your money, nigga. That's all I have. Just spare my life. Still the second is only 3-0. We got the 34-28. It's little things about like as you're in the game and you're watching it. Sometimes you watch the game and I'm totally not paying attention to the score. I'm like, I don't know how often this happens to you. Like you're watching and I'm not really paying attention to the score. I'm really just watching the action. And then I either hear the score or I look at the score and I'm like, wait, that's it? Or wait, they're winning? Because it doesn't look like it. But that is what it is. Right? So in this game, not for nothing, right? Like I said, it's slow right now. But Cousins shows up, right? Cousins showed up last night, right? Or on Thursday night. And I know Minnesota's defense isn't there, but obviously he has been blessed with some of the best offensive weapons. It's like Matt Ryan, right? Matt Ryan, Kirk Cousins' older cousin. This is why we have all of Kirk Cousins' cousins out here. Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins' black cousin from Texas, right? Jacoby Brissett, Kirk Cousins' traveling cousin. There's a lot of Kirk Cousins out there. Don't get it twisted. What's going on, Kerry? Welcome to the show. Phone lines are open. So Kirk Cousins balls out, ends up dropping 364 yards, 4 touchdowns, right? 31 for 44. Finds his man Jefferson 11 catches, 159 yards, no touchdowns though. Right? Uh right. So he balls out, but his team takes a loss. And like I said, everybody saw this loss coming to Philly. Everybody saw this loss coming to Philly. What we didn't see is AJ Brown acting like a little bitch. Sorry. My bad. Not AJ Brown. AJ Smith. Crying like a little baby. No. I'm right. My bad. AJ Brown. I'm not right. I'm not tripping. AJ Brown. The veteran. The older guy. The person that's supposed to be setting the example. He is upset at his targets and his now. You go back and you look at it, right? He's upset. He's upset at his targets, right? Smith gets 131 yards and a touchdown. Brown only ends up with 29 yards, no touchdowns. They both had 4 catches. One had 131 yards. The other one had 29. It's part of the reason why I wanted to rewatch this game. All right? Part of the reason why I want to rewatch this game. This isn't rewatching the game. Oh, this is on Prime? I could have probably rewatched this on Prime and not the other way. But you guys know how I feel. I love football. I love watching football. I hate giving the NFL money. I hate the NFL as an organization. They're really truly a despicable organization. So if I can find a way not to give them money, not to give them ratings, not to fully support their funding, I'm good. I won't like. I know you guys were like, how do you do that? Mind your fucking business. I know I put it on wax, right? But mind your business, all right? Mind your business. Minnesota scores. Now, Jalen Hurts looked pedestrian. And I can see this is one of those games that helps to justify a lot of the Jalen Hurts hate. He's not really that good. Look at all the weapons he has, yada yada yada. 18 for 23, 193 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. All I'm gonna say is that if you don't believe that he is good, just compare him to other quarterbacks that actually has talent on their teams that don't do well. Listen, it still takes talent to make the other talent around you shine. I don't care if you have to just beat Kirk Cousins. It still takes talent. Listen, we didn't say Kirk Cousins was the worst quarterback. We said if you're worse than Kirk Cousins, then you're a bad quarterback. That's what we said. Never called Kirk Cousins a bad quarterback. We called him an average quarterback. You're still better than bad. I'm not sitting here to poo-poo on Jalen Hurts, but I can see how today's game would could help add to a lot of the rhetoric that follows Jalen Hurts because he wasn't spectacular this game. But don't worry, we'll see some other quarterbacks. Let's see how good Dak Prescott looks. Let's see how good Zach Wilson looks. Like I said, Kirk Cousins' younger cousin that hasn't quite learned yet. These are all of Kirk Cousins' cousins. Kirk Cousins got a big family. Kirk Cousins really has a big family. I don't know if you saw that that little special on whatever it was, Netflix. I haven't watched it. Let's keep referencing it. I ain't watched 1 minute of it. But I heard a lot of good things from it. I heard a lot of people talk, like say that, hey, Kirk Cousins came out of this looking really, really spectacular and helping change a lot of the the image that people thought of Kirk Cousins. Yeah, I don't think it's going to change anything for me because I'm looking at Kirk Cousins as he plays football on the field. How he feels after losses, don't care. Should he feel bad after losses? Goddamn right. Do I care that I truly care or want to see that he feels bad about the losses? Now, would I care if after losses he's just over here like, you know what? Fuck them L's. Ass, titties, ass and titties. Ass, titties, and shoot up the club. Right? Would I be upset if that was his mentality? I would probably utilize that. I would probably end up correlating that as the reason why he's not a better quarterback. So I guess I see I'm a follower about that. If it makes if you could use it to discredit somebody, you could also use it to give them some credit, right? So I guess in a way, I guess I don't want to say happy. I am appeased, right? That Kirk Cousins feels bad after losses, right? But I don't know if I needed that kind of. I don't know if I needed closure on that topic per se. Like, you know what I mean? I guess that's really what it is. Like, okay, good. I it's a mark in the pros column for him, but I don't know if I needed it. Just like I don't think it'll change what Kirk Cousins is to me. Now, while Jefferson ended up with 159 yards, he also had his tight end T.J. Hawkinson, right, with 7 catches, 66 yards, and two of his 4 touchdowns. Now, can I tell you this? Let's throw in a little quick
the MyT Fantasy Football Tips. Not winning tips, just tips. Just the tip? Just the tip! Just the tip!
Let's just say what I want involves much more than just the tips. Just the tips. What I want is much more than just the tips.
If T.J. Hawkinson is not on your roster, he should definitely be on your roster by now. Now, in my league, he was actually available. Excuse me. I tried picking him up on Wednesday, Thursday morning, whatever day it was. So he was available. Didn't realize that some idiot dropped him. It's my boy. I don't want to call him an idiot. But that's what I thought when I first saw, like, hey, yo, which one of these motherfuckers? Like, I didn't realize somebody, I thought he was there. I was like, yo, somebody dropped him? Like, who the fuck dropped him? I need a better backup tight end. I put in for a claim for him. I should probably put in for a secondary transaction right now as we speak. Because I saw a tight end that I wanted. I saw another tight end that I wanted. And I didn't pull the trigger on that one because Hawkinson was there. And so Hawkinson is available. Hawkinson. All right. You go ahead and get Hawkinson. You add him to your roster. Philly's currently down right now. We're halfway through the second. They have the ball. Jalen Hurts takes off for a little run, short of the first down. Now, a guy that we did tell you about, and that's the reason why we bring this into for fantasy football as well, too. A guy that we also told you about balled out for Philly, right? Because remember, we told you, right, that for Philly, their running back, Kenneth Gainwell, was out, as well as their cornerback, James Bradbury, safety, Reed Blankenship, but Fletcher Cox ended up playing, if I'm not mistaken. Excuse me. But the running back position is what we really cared about. And we told you guys that if he was available, handcuff Swift. If he was available, play Swift. Don't just get him because because Philly was gonna need a running back to help this offense, right? Or to spark this help the spark of this offense. But we told you go out and get him and play it, and I hope you did. I hope you did. Swift ended this game with 175 yards and a touchdown. You understand that in a standard league, that's 23 points. That's 23 points in a standard league. If he's in a PPR league, he got you another 2.8 points. Because he got 28 carries off of that. I'm just saying. Points per reception, points per touch, points per carry. You guys know how this works, right? So, in a game where Philly won, Jalen Hurts didn't have to do much, right? His running back had a dominant game, 275 yards on the ground, heavy running game, right? Gashing them. You figure if we're having this kind of success running the game, why do we need to pass the ball that much? Only one person they're passing the ball to is actually making progress with their, making traction or getting positive yards with their catches, or making explosive plays with their catches. That's what I don't understand. What is Brown upset about? Outside of Hawkinson, you had the most targets on the team. You had just as many receptions as Smith. So are you mad that you didn't get targeted more? Or are you mad? Because see, this is what people need to understand, right? Because the emotion of anger is really coming from a disappointment at times, right? You have to find out. Anger is a secondary emotion. Find out what your initial emotion is. His initial emotion is disappointment because he didn't produce the way that he wanted to produce. So in his head, damn, if I only could get a few more catches, I could have done more. I could have looked better than 4 for 29. I could have looked better than this. This isn't me. So really, he's mad at himself. But instead of taking ownership that, hey, I didn't break away on this tackle, or I didn't find this seam, or I didn't, instead of it being the one time where you should be a me guy, or I guy, he's like, yeah, the offense wasn't this. The quarterback didn't do such and such. Right? Now I know there's a questionable play that comes in that comes up with a touchdown that could have been. But instead it ends up being fumbled. It goes out. It goes out the back. It ends up being a turnover and a touchback. Right. One of the questionable rules that the NFL still kind of has in place, and you wonder, out of all the things that they review, how come this hasn't been reviewed to see if it's still relevant and up to date, right? You don't want antiquated rules. But ultimately, if Brown should be upset with anything, it should be the fact that he didn't do more with the opportunities that he was given. When you have the same amount of catches that the guy at the other end of the field is you, in your same position, and yet you come up 100 yards short, You can't blame everything. Oh, well, he had a no. He found a couple more seams better than you. He is you 2.0. You're supposed to be mentoring him still. And also understanding that you guys are coming to a crossroads where you're declining and he's inclining. And at some point, you guys are going to be damn near even, and then very quickly, he's going to surpass you. You can't be upset if that's what you see happening as well, because he looks up to you. What he does is a reflection of how great you have been, and now you're there to mentor him. And instead of mentoring him, you're crying and puffing and catching fits because with the same amount of catches, you produced 100 yards less than him. Get your weight up, not your hate up. Speaking of getting up, right? Because we're gonna leave this there. We're gonna transition, right? Because we got some things happening actually today that we want to get into too. But speaking of getting up, right? I know what you guys are saying. If you have any of these problems in any areas whatsoever, and even if you don't, we have for you, we have a little bit of Blue Chew. What is Blue Chew? You ask. Blue Chew, this happens to be a little blue pill that can get you back to your throat. All you have to do is open up a pack and head straight to the sack. Just a few chews before you do. It has the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, so this is one opportunity that you just can't miss. For a very low cost, you could beat it up like a boss, and she will love how you come through like a champ when you Blue Chew in advance. And if you use my promo code of GSSS, you can get your very first order of Blue Chew for free. Yes, folks, for the free. Only thing you have to pay for is shipping and handling. Once you get it comes in a discreet packaging, nobody knows what you have. At very moments after receiving it, you could go ahead and produce in whatever style that you like. You like to whether we're talking about doggy style, missionary style, jackhammer style, Cobra style, Amazon style, or Froggy style. Shout out to Baby Boy. Right? Don't go ahead. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. I think I kicked the cord. Did I kick a cord? I kicked the cord. Fuck. Ah. I kicked the cord. I kicked the cord. My video just did something weird. No, I don't. See if I can get this back. That's the game. That's me. Okay, we're back. My feet went flying. Yeah, I kicked something. I was like, oh shit. I think I fucked up. Hopefully audio and everything is still with you guys. Actually, you know what? Just to make sure, right? Just to make sure. Let's go ahead and reload this one time. There we go. Just reloaded the thing that I use also for the audio. So what were we saying now? Blue Chew. There's really only a couple of requirements. First requirement is that you chew it. Second requirement, you plan on conducting anyway. Second one is to do it. So you chew it and you do it. That's it. Blue Chew. All right, so let us continue. All right, and let's continue to roll up and roll out. Later today, we actually do have some football going on. But as you guys know, it's Saturday, right? So this isn't a NFL day. This is a college day. This is a big college football day. And the only game I know about today, because you guys know me for the most part, I don't care that much about most of these college games that are going on. I really don't. They can pass me by 811 times and I probably would never blink an eye. But today and this week, I was interested in something that even the very few times I do follow back college football or do pay attention to it, I would never care about until right now. And that is the Colorado Bowl. The Colorado Bowl. Out of all the bowls from Colorado, or out of the Colorado themed bowls, right, that I have participated in, never have I ever thought that this Colorado Bowl would be one of them. But this is all because of the Deion Sanders effect. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I caught myself in it. You've seen it. I caught myself in it a couple years ago. When Deion Sanders was coaching HBCU, I was interested in I was interested in HBCU more than I've ever been. He's the reason why I'm even more interested in HBCU now than I was 5 years ago. Just because of Coach Prime. And now he's in Colorado. And now I have the third reason why I've ever been interested in Colorado. Maybe fourth reason. Can't forget about Coors Light. Right? So, not only obviously has it caught my eye, it's caught the nation's eye. Deion Sanders turned a franchise or organization, but a college franchise, right? Right? But you want to call it a school or whatever, but a college franchise from, you're welcome, from a 2-win team to a must-see team. I mean, I say 2-win, I mean a 2-win team that nobody cares about. Let me see if this is when that play happens. If it's at the end of the, what is going on here? Let's see. What happened here? Is this the play? At the end of the second? Let's see. He fumbles the ball. Okay, this is when Jefferson fumbles the ball. And then fumbles it at the 1 yard line. But is this when they're trying to determine if the ball breaks the goal first and technically goes out through the back of the goal line, which makes it a touchback? Is this? Yeah, that's the play. That's the play. Now, excuse me. You would think the allergy pill would be kicking in by now. And I can see the upset, like how this play makes people upset because if it's deemed a fumble, why isn't it a fumble on the 1 yard line? Like, why isn't this a fumble at the 2 yard line? Wherever the ball, like wherever he lost, because it's so close. And I'm telling you this right now. They may not change this rule this year because obviously it didn't affect one of their must-see individuals that they want to keep in the league. But or advertise themselves in the league. But what rule they did review though is the turf rule. I think I put that in consideration. But maybe we get both of them being reviewed, getting reviewed at the end of this year, right, by the competition committee, because that play right there ends up being the swing of the game, right? That play right there almost ends up being the game changer, because now instead of Minnesota having that ball at the 1 yard line, the 2 yard line, going into half, milking out the clock, or getting a good run, maybe a pass, maybe a screen, but at very least 3 points on the play. Now it's a turnover on downs, right? It's a turnover of possessions, right? And now Philly gets a chance to come back, right? Get another possession, come back and put points on the board, which they do on this drive before they go into half. So let's think. Minnesota would have scored right here, right before the half, tied the game up 10-10, and then after that, got the ball back to start the second half and have an opportunity to keep carrying that momentum on to put up another score. These are the breaks. These are the breaks. And you know what? I gotta take a sniffle break. So for the first time today, and I feel like it won't be the last, you guys are gonna get a nice little army break. No push-ups involved. No nothing. Just sound off.
They didn't join this team to win championships or become famous. They joined because there is important work to be done, and only some able to do it. They are brighter, better educated, led, and equipped than any team in history. They are doctors, lawyers, engineers, technologists, and combat troops, all prepared for whatever comes their way. You'll find them where the lights don't flash, and the only contract they sign is with themselves and their country. One day, they may be asked what they did to make a difference in this world, and they can respond, "I became a soldier." They didn't join this team to win championships or become famous. They joined because there is important work to be done, and only some able to do it. They are brighter, better educated, led, and equipped than any team in history. They are doctors, lawyers, engineers, technologists, and combat troops, all prepared for whatever comes their way. You'll find them where the lights don't flash, and the only contract they sign is with themselves and their country. One day, they may be asked what they did to make a difference in this world, and they can respond, "I became a soldier."
All right, we are back with the MyT Sports Podcast. Thank you guys for listening. Had to clear all these sinuses and stuff. Yo, allergies are a bitch. They really are. Like they'll fuck up the whole mood. At least the whole podcast mood. So let's continue. Let's continue. Right. Let's move. Let's move away from this game. Cause we'll be back and forth here. And like I said, later today. When I say later today, it's funny because ESPN is out there already. They had College Game Day out there already in Colorado, and that's why they had them out there early. So, Colorado's a 2-hour difference from where I'm at. I think I started watching College Game Day earlier today, like around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock maybe. Can't remember what time it was. That means they're out there super early, and can I honestly say, and I know for you lovers of College Game Day, you lovers of college sports, it's gonna sound kind of blasphemous to you guys, but can I honestly say That old dude, that old white guy on College Game Day, he needs to go ahead and retire. You know what? But before we get there, let's give him a big MyT for his 400th head game pick. As you guys know, I don't know who his name is. I can't remember his name. I know him by face. I know him by face and I know him by action. Because to me, he's that guy that's always putting on the mascot heads and making picks. This week was his 400th pick. And if he retires tomorrow, I won't miss him. And I'm going to tell you why. It's not that he hasn't been great over the last 20 years, 30 years, however long it's been. It's the fact that he no longer looks like he could hold it together. Like this may be the only thing that is still keeping him young. It may be. And listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. I feel the same about UB Brown sometimes. I've been feeling about it's not UB Brown. Herbie, the commentator, the old ass commentator for basketball. I be feeling similar about him. That it may be time for you to wrap this up because you kind of sound old and sleepy. Now the thing about it is that it just comes off as professional, like generic professional sports talk. But you could tell it lacks energy. This is all the energy he has. It lacks a certain oomph because he can't really give it anymore. Like I see him now trying to do the same movements. You can see the shakes in the hand, right? You see him trying to sign an autograph the other day, and you seen how difficult that looked. It may be time for him to wrap it up. And not for nothing, have one of those dudes, like the other longest tenured dude there, right? That you know is probably going to be there for the next 20 years. Have him continue your head games, and he can go ahead and give head to whatever team that he believes is going to win. But I think it's time for him to go. Love him, but eventually everybody needs to fade to black, and I think it's time for him to fade to black. Now, can I tell you this Colorado spread is at 20? Was it 28? No, 23.5 points. Over Anderson at 62.5. I think you could get that at minus 2,400, right? But even with this being the Colorado Bowl game and a Deion Sanders vehicle, I would not have even had this on my radar if, for some odd reason, the Colorado State coach just wanted to make things personal. Listen here. What was the round of applause for? Let's replay that. This is courtesy of Sporting News. Woo! Yeah! That's what I'm talking about. He ain't gonna come to our state and just talk with his glasses and stuff on, trying that shit in a small town. What? What's the applause for? What major statement did he make? Because is this not prime time we're talking about here? Is this not Deion Sanders? Is this not a guy that's been doing this literally since he was 17? Do we all not know by now that there's a difference between Deion Sanders and prime time? And when we see that guy with the glasses on, it's the persona of prime time. But he was gonna kill a couple rappers, but they did it to themselves. Let's hear Coach Prime's response. Again, no. 1 second. Let's let's give them right. Let's give them their dues. Let's get these back to back equally. Personal, because college game day was there suddenly for no reason, right? And obviously now college game day is there, ESPN is there, Fox, ABC, all the people are there. And they're giving, obviously all the coaches now are getting interviews, stuff like that. Players are getting interviews. Now, what you didn't hear is actually the coach for Colorado State mentioned that, like, my guys are being interviewed and we're tired of it. And we're tired, like, seriously, when I said all this, like, we're tired of the interviews, we're tired of this. Like, we're gonna come out here and play a game. And I know this is gonna reach Colorado. So he kind of just offered it up. Like, I can understand him coming and say, like, yo, you know what? We getting questions about Colorado, blah, blah, but my guys are here too, and we're here to play a game too. And my guys get a little tired of all the questions about the other team when we're a good team too. Now, mind you, just like in the HBCU, and just like now, some of you schools we wouldn't know about, we wouldn't care about, we wouldn't talk about. If it wasn't for the fact that you was playing Deion Sanders. But you know what though? I'm glad to see that it's Deion Sanders now. Because you know who this used to be? Nick Saban. You know who this used to be? Some inappropriate coach. Some inappropriate old white coach. Like I hate to say it, but some coach with a scandal, some other coach with a scandal, some coach with a sexual scandal, some coach with anger issues. This is what it used to be. Now all you have is a God-loving man in Deion Sanders that loves his players, loves life, loves football, wants players to get their money, doesn't care about the transfer portal, doesn't care about being in control of players' assets, finances, those things they should get paid like Dambo Sweetie. Just here to support players and their future endeavors. And we've been following Deion Sanders since he stepped foot on an HBCU campus. He changed the HBCU game for 3 to 4 years and trying to show them a blueprint. Those guys are filled with too many backbiters and bad-minded people that they will never grow. Part of the reason why he left, probably so that I couldn't grow this. Goes to Colorado, cuts half the team, brings everybody else into the transfer portal, and now we're watching Colorado every single week. They beat a team that was just in the Final Four last week. This week they're taking on a division rival, and granted, the team that's usually unranked in this matchup usually wins. I think that's going to be broken today. I honestly think that's going to be broken today. There's some people I would I it's weird, right? Because if you get, because mind you what I'm about to say, because not everybody gets tenure. I love having great people in the college level because thank you for reminding me. What was this? What was this? B-Day shoutouts? All right. I don't even want to like, yo, do this shit later, my guy. Listen, just bear with me like a few more seconds, and that you'll get this done. But because I needed to post a new video. Like, fuck you guys. I guess we're gonna post this video without a title, which they said is horrible to do. Cause I know nobody. I gotta get it posted because I'm trying to focus on you guys. But back to what I was saying. Sometimes I really like having great coaches, right, or great individuals at the college level, because you think to yourself like, damn, this is truly a blessing to have this individual being able to mold young men at some of their key stages of early adulthood. Right? Love having guys like I love having individuals like that at the college level. And especially when you know that people are going to gravitate to him continuously. Talking about Coach Prime here. And obviously the love for Colorado and Colorado. You know what's going on in Colorado. But because in a sense I'm thinking like, damn, I would love to see Coach Prime continue to do this for like 15, 20 years, 10 years. But also what I felt about him in HBCU. But if he takes the job and goes professional, I wouldn't mind that either, right? If the whoever gives him the NFL job is truly about building a culture there and has patience and sustainability, meaning that you can't just let Coach Prime go, let's say after 5 years, and be like, oh, whatever, you guys are stale, because that tells me that you just hired him to humble him. I want to see a situation like what happens in New England. I want to see a situation what happens in Pittsburgh, Seattle, because as much as it's gonna be great to be able to help mold some of these young men between the ages of 18 and 22, 23, 24, 25, Shaka Khan, right? It's even better to be able to really get a hold of them when they become professional too as well. And then you can really get a mold on between 21 and 29, 30 to 35 even still. You constantly have guys motivated that when they come in and they're drafted by, they're like, man, I can't wait to play for Coach Prime. The same energy they had for you in college, they're gonna come and want and listen to you on a professional level. That same undivided attention that you was able to, because we're watching Tomlin do it, you watch Pete Carroll do it, you watch Bill Belichick do it. We see Andy Reid do it, right? People focus more for certain people, and I can see him being one of those individuals that even in the NFL level, guys come locked in and not only become better players, but still have opportunity to become better men under his tutelage. But with all the great things we could say about Coach Prime, right? Why? This is an old school saying, but I'm going to use this for the Colorado State head coach. Why, in your cotton picking mind, would you want to give Deion Sanders or a Deion Sanders led team ammunition when you know his gift of gab is on Super Saiyan God Ultra Instinct levels? Gear 4, Gear 5, Gear 6, Gear 7, Gear 8, For all you One Piece fans, that's what he just took it to. So now, a game that's 11 hours from now, I'm probably gonna end up being at my 11 hours from now. I can't wait to see. And the build of it started within the last 48 hours. Now maybe Colorado State head coach is trying to help sell, he's trying to be the proper Mayweather opponent. Where I gotta hold my own on this card as well to help sell pay-per-view box numbers. That's the only thing that makes sense. Because both of his sons came out and was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?" You have one son playing quarterback, another son playing cornerback. What are you doing? Coach is now motivated to coach up the score on you. When he tells his son, "Nah, don't make this a pass play. They've had enough." This is college football here. We don't mind seeing 100 to 20 to 18 score games. Oh no, we don't. Not in college. It's actually encouraged in college. It's motivated in college. You understand? It's something it's promoted in college. You get the professional level, mercy. Everything before college, oh my God, we need mercy rules. In college, make them bleed their own blood. Sweep the legs. This is already a 23.5 point spread in Vegas. About an odd Vegas. 23.5. Last time I looked. Like I said, I won't give you guys with the way that I utilize it. This is through my bookie. And I want to promise you, all right, and I hope I can keep this promise, that by the next time we do this for my bookie, I am going to have a promotional code for you guys to link on so that if you're in one of these antiquated states, that you can go ahead and have some fun with sports. Oh, damn, I just realized. Not Instagram, but TikTok isn't going to show this video now because of that in at least 38 different countries. At least. And none of those countries that are going to be banned from watching these, every single one of them will still end up finding a way to watch this Colorado State because no, seriously, now it's personal. Not there's a reason to watch. I don't know if he did it on purpose. I don't know if he did it intentionally. I don't because he said I don't care if they hear this. You should care because if I've heard enough athletes talk, you never want to be the person that's not guarding somebody that makes the statement, or the person that's gonna personally receive that smoke when these statements are made. You don't gotta be on that, coach. You don't gotta be. You're not in the trenches, coach. You don't gotta deal with these players. You don't gotta deal with these mad dogs out there. Oh, you have officially signed your, and you know what? Not for nothing. Not for nothing. You know, I know the odds aren't particularly good. If the odds were favorable, and I know they're not, oh yeah, I would start betting on Colorado to win this. If you make part of a parlay for something else, that could actually win you money, yeah, I'm definitely taking Colorado plus the points. Because now I feel like it's going to be like a 40-point blowout. They about to hit them with the. Actually, you don't have it loaded. Actually, yes, you do.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
They about to hit him with that. because you didn't have to say what you said, Kurt. Whatever that coach's name is. Forget his coach. I'm about to call him. It's Kershaw or Kurgan or crazy. It's one of them. It's one. It's something with a K. I think it's Coach Crazy. But you know what? It actually is crazy if you've been missing out on the WNBA. And that's actually kind of crazy. WNBA playoffs has started. And ooh. I got something for you. Boo 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 boo. I got something for you. Boo doo doo ba 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 da ba da ba scoo doo 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 wop. Oh baby, I'm gonna have something for you guys later. My next show, definitely. We got what I was looking for my bookie. Now, what I'm gonna drop this in the chat for you guys. Uh, I gotta learn more about something later. So we have the WNBA playoffs that has started. If you guys, because you guys said you guys have been crazy. Let me see. End of the third. This game is 27-14, down by 2 touchdowns. Uh, I'm just looking at this. So they will go on a 20. They will go on a. Last 14 to another 13. They did not. They went on nothing. They exchanged scores for a while. Halfway through the third. So at the end of the game, like I said, Willie was probably way more excited than what it looked. Was that Fletcher? Get into them. Now, the Dallas Stars beat the Atlanta Dream. Sorry, I still always have to think about these teams still. 94-82. But you guys know how it goes here. You know how that should go. You know how that should go. What the game that we care about is New York Liberty versus the Mystics. New York Liberty versus the Mystics, where New York Liberty and okay, fuck it. Where they waxed them 90-75. 90-75. I know what you're thinking. Like, yo, that's really only a 15-point game versus the other one's just a 12-point game. That's one more 3-point. It's not. It looks different, don't it? 94-82 versus 90-75. It looks different. Probably because it's on the cusp where you change two numbers as the first number, right? It looks different. And it felt different too with Sabrina Ionesco 7 3-pointers in this game. Seven 3-pointers to lead all New York scores. Did she lead all scorers as well? You guys have that up for me? I will have that up in just a second, I believe. Yep, we'll get that in a minute. But Sabrina dropped 7 3-pointers. Stewie struggled. If I'm not mistaken, Stewie only had 10 points. Let me stop guessing. Now let's take a look. See. Let's see. Sabrina Ionescu, 7 for 13 with her 3-pointer. She ended the game 9 points. Led all Liberty players. But I wanted to verify if she led all scorers. Period. Yes, she did. She led all scorers with her 29 points. And Brianna Stewart, struggled this game. 3 for 16, only 10 points. But that plus minus was plus 18. That's crazy. I need to stop shaking my desk. All right, that her plus minus. Ooh, right. Her plus minus was crazy, but her score just wasn't quite there. And you know what's also crazy? The fact that she wins her MVP over AJ Wilson by 1 vote. 1 vote. I'm gonna tell you that's that New York effect. If this was Las Vegas versus Seattle, I don't even think it's close. I'm telling you right now, if she's because in Seattle, she could have been taken into the playoffs again. And they kind of expect all kinds of great things. They have a history of winning in Seattle. Remember, Brianna Stewart, if I'm not mistaken, comes here with, I want to say 5 rings. Actually, you know what's crazy? I had her site up. not too long ago. All right, there's a Brianna Stewart webpage that has all of her accolades, and when I tell you, right, they are deep. Remember we used to give you Brittany Griner's bag while she was incarcerated for those. How many days was it? Do I still have? Maybe I still have access to that for those 294 days, 294 plus days. I'm not mistaken. When we say Brianna Stewart's bag is thick, like this thing is thick, thick. 2016 American Athletic Conference Championship, most outstanding player, right? 2016 Bridgeport Regional MOP. 2016 Final Four, most outstanding player. Of course, this goes back to college. 2016 American Athletic Conference Player of the Year, 2016 Unanimous First Team All American, 2016 Sullivan Award winner, 2016 USBWA Player of the Year, 2016 Jarron Wooden Award player, 2016 Red Trophy winner, 2016 Naismith Trophy winner. There's a butt more 2016, right? 2016 Associated Press Player of the Year, the 2016 WNBA Rookie of the Year, 2016 Olympic gold medalist, 2018 WNBA MVP, 2018 WNBA championship, right? 2018 Finals MVP, 2018 USA FIBA World Cup MVP, 2018 World Cup gold medalist, 2019 Euro Cup regular season MVP, 2020 WNBA championship and finals MVP, 2020 Sports Illustrated Sports Person of the Year, 2020 also a gold medalist. Let's see, Olympic basketball tournament MVP, 21 Commissioner Cups champion. Right, sorry, my bad. Let's still on two. Right, then we have Commissioner's Cup MVP in 2021. That she was named to the 25th WNBA 25th anniversary team. Then that's to 2021. So what that breaks down to is a three-time WNBA All Defensive Second Team, 2022, right, All NBA scoring leader, right. In 2022 NBA All Defensive First Team. She was a four-time All WNBA first team as well. That's in 18, 20, 21, and 22. The defensive second team was in 2016, 21, and 21. The fuck? Right? In 22, she's the FIBA World Cup gold medalist. Right? Then she's a two-time Euro Cup champion in 21 and 23. Two-time Euro Finals MVP. Right? Euro League Final Four MVP in 21 and 23, and a five-time NBA All-Star. That's two championships? Hold on. Let's see. MVPs and championships. Stewart was named 2016 NBA Rookie of the Year. Is a five-time NBA All-Star. Was named NBA MVP 2018. Led the Storm to the WNBA Finals in 2018 and 20, and was named Finals MVP after the team won both championships. Huh. I really thought she had more rings than that. She doesn't, and she's not a five-time NBA champion. She's like she's a two. I could have swore, and you know what? And I could be mistaken. I could be mistaken. Her rings for Tarasi's rings? Her teammate? Am I thinking about the wrong person? The right person? So I think that maybe must be happening there. So she has two of those rings during that time. And as I mentioned, right, there's a kind of a given that goes on in Seattle. The fact that she's doing this with a New York team that struggled for the last decade plus, right? She becomes. It's funny. She's Aaron Rodgers in a sense. Oh God, I don't want to jinx her. Because New York has had it rough when it comes to players, right? Diaz, Randall, Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Judge. They've had a tough slate with injuries, really have. But Breonna Stewart has basically ended up being similar to what Aaron Rodgers was for the New York Jets. That they found that they had a good team that was a young up and coming, and there was an old wily veteran that thought that she can go there, make a legacy, and take them over the top. Is exactly where the New York Knicks are at in the position that they're at, where they're kind of looking for that Giannis Antetokounmpo to come there, or that Joel Embiid to come there, who's unhappy. And but I'm telling you right now that if she's not in New York, I don't believe she wins MVP this year. Especially when you look at the kind of year that Asia Wilson has had and also how great the Las Vegas Aces have been. New York Liberty are the second best team in the league. Las Vegas is the best. But she has put up a bunch of numbers. Like I said, like a ton of most points ever scored by a New York Liberty player. She finished second in the league in all-time scoring. Her Asia Wilson, and damn it, I forgot the other young one. Jewel Lloyd? Is that what her name was? Yeah, Jewel Lloyd. Yeah, so her Asia Wilson and Jewel Lloyd all broke the previous scoring record of 885 points in the season. And they have said that, or they have said it has come in that this season is the most watched WNBA season in 20 years. What's going on? Most watched season in 20 years. Like so that's you know what we do here. Dig up. That's why I said like you're crazy. If you haven't been watching Breonna Stewart, you haven't been watching Candace Parker, you haven't been watching Asia Wilson do their thing this year, you are mad. And then also that Washington team. I mentioned last time, that Washington team is no joke. Like New York is gonna wax them. Like we all. Like the Liberty's definitely gonna wax them. But best believe that that is that's no sleeper of a team. The Washington Mystics, they are a former champion. They were champions. What was it? In the last 3 years, if I'm not mistaken, they won a championship with Ella Della Don. Well, you know we've talked about Ella Della Don to no mistaken, right? Let's just put it. We talked a lot about Ella, right? So we was real happy to watch her break through. So it's not like she's playing bums out there. And granted, you saw how they put up 10 points, but Sabrina Ionescu, a young lady that keeps getting the Stephen Curry comparisons, man, you don't know how special of a team that this New York Liberty has and the major opportunity to win a championship and pull this off that they can. I'm excited to see them. But not more excited than I am to witness week 2 of the NFL. That's probably the most exciting thing about this whole week. A couple things. My brother's birthday this weekend. We got Colorado versus Colorado State coming up as well. And also we have the NFL week 2 where a lot of questions, right? A lot of questions are going to be answered. We're probably going to end up doing that in the last hour of the podcast, right? It seems like we have just about 30 minutes before we go into the last hour. But before we even get there, right, I guess week 1 has brought up a lot of reactions already, in a sense. Because with this, I think that the division winners now, like I'm already starting to set and reset some of these division winners. Let's go through a couple of them, right? As we have we're gonna start off with the NFC, right? and we're gonna go south first, which this is the division that I think is the worst, or even the hardest to try to figure out. Now, I did this exercise earlier without even seeing some of these records, without even knowing some of these records. And I'm gonna tell you this right now: Atlanta, I don't believe in, and the Saints, I still have problem believing in. For me, I believe that this is probably Tampa Bay's division conference to lose. Baker Mayfield may be the guy, maybe the most experienced guy here. You still have Mike Evans. You have some championship pedigree. The team does pedigree that's lingering from their championship run a couple years back. This may be the division that puts up the team that makes it to the playoff with the worst record. But for here in the NFC South, I think I'm still going Tampa Bay. I think I'm still going Tampa Bay. Carolina, they're too young to really understand what's going on with their quarterback situation. The Saints, I think they're about to go through their stretch of being the Aints. The Falcons, that was a fluke. But right now, they have some of that young boy swag going on over there. So ultimately, I'm going to go with Tampa Bay and what they know and probably what the expectation is trying to follow in the post. Nah, I shouldn't have done that. In the post Tom Brady era. Next up, we have the NFC North. All right. And you know what? We'll save that music for later. But you know what I'm not going to save for later? My hunger. Sorry. I am going to take. I want to say it's going to be my last break. I want to say it's going to be our last break. But we'll be back. After these messages, we'll be right back.
They didn't join this team to win championships or become famous. They joined because there is important work to be done, and only some able to do it. They are brighter, better educated, led, and equipped than any team in history. They are doctors, lawyers, engineers, technologists, and combat troops, all prepared for whatever comes their way. You'll find them where the lights don't flash, and the only contract they sign is with themselves and their country. One day, they may be asked what they did to make a difference in this world, and they can respond, "I became a soldier."
Okay, we are back. Last break of the day. We're officially here. Okay, so we got a couple of divisions, right? And I wasn't sure if I wanted to save up these division winner picks until Monday, right? Or if I wanted to do it today, and I think we're gonna go ahead and write this out today. Mm. So in the NFC North, that in the division where you have the Green Bay Packers and their new quarterback in Jordan Love, the Detroit Pistons, who have now become the Detroit Lions, and the most rambunctious group of grizzly biters you've ever met. Chicago Bears, who can't get right, and the Minnesota Vikings, who has Kirk Cousins, who is currently right now in an all-time record of. Hold on, let's pull this up. But I think he's about 5 games above. No, 8 games. He's about 8 games below 500. Above 500. Yep. 74, 66, and 2. So what that means that this year he's going to go back to average. He has at least 10 more losses to go this year. This thing, he has 8 losses to get to average. That takes us out to 9 games played in the NFL, including the one from last night. And once that happens, there's an additional, how many weeks do we have now? 18? Additional 9 that he has to play and kind of split. So you're talking about a year where we're thinking about 5-13 and a tie. You know what I mean? Like, if Kirk Cousins is the ultimate average quarterback that we think he is, with having a schedule as tough as he does in the first 6 games of the season, 8 losses isn't hard to see. 13 losses isn't hard to comprehend. Next thing you know, we're talking about him being 79-3, which kind of makes sense. I don't know if I picked them already before, but I'm saying this. If I haven't said it before, I'm saying it again. The Minnesota Vikings are not good. Are one of the teams that made it last year that are not going to make it back to the playoffs this year. And while I'm going back in time a little bit, I wonder what the ratings are going to be for tonight's game. Remember last week he had a rating of 3.8 and 7.26 million viewers, which is more than any one of the week 1 games. So in the NFL North, right? I mean, it's good. I've had better, but I'm hungry. Who did I pick? I think I picked Detroit. I don't. Packers are still a little too young and still a little too young for me to have faith in. Chicago has no anything experience. Let's just call it that. Minnesota is cursed by Kirk Cousins, right? Cursed Cousins, as he's probably going to be referred to as this year. And like I said, not a bad Cousins. It's a cursed Cousins. As we name it, cursed Kirk Cousins. So because of that, I think by default I may be going Detroit for this division. Next up, we have the NFC West, right? Where you have Seattle and Geno Smith maybe starting to write some people back. Maybe. Arizona Cardinals that are writing off their whole entire season. San Francisco 49ers that have just found the right way to build a team and found the right way to succeed with any quarterback you fit in there. And the Rams, who went for it right now, took a step back. And now maybe you're seeing some of that McVay tenure energy of getting young men now that are getting a group of guys that are no longer in resting on our laurels. Oh, we already gave it all to win a Super Bowl. To guys out that are fresh, hungry, and kind of want to learn from this great guy that have done all of this, that has done this in college and throughout the league and won these guys to the Super Bowl recently. I don't think anybody in the world doesn't think that this should be San Francisco's division. Like I said, Seahawks may make a run, but we're gonna see if they actually able to close the gap against the 49ers team. And we don't expect the Rams to maintain their current winning streak. And then last but not least, we have the NFC East, which, based off the fact that I can't say their names, actually, what am I saying? I'm tripping. It's like Aaron. This is Phillies. But the NFC East has the Giants, the Commanders, the Cowboys, and the Eagles. I honestly believe that the Giants are the worst team in that division because they don't have the kind of defense to rely on or cause sustainability for this team or for to travel yet. And if you have a shaky O line and the worst defense, I don't see how you beat a defense first team like Washington. That we've seen that okay, we're okay with our quarterback being mediocre as long as we can disrupt. I'm not holding this up like I'm doing advertising. I'm tripping. My head was just kind of stuck in this position. I'm gonna call my baby. Trying to see if she's still on her 283-hour work binger. I can't make these shits up. So, back to what we were saying. Excuse me. I truly believe, lot of mercy. I truly believe the Giants are the worst team in this division. Also, between Philly and Dallas, actually, I'm not saying anything new. If you guys have listened to some of these programs, right? I'm a like, I've heard enough people by now to understand like this. This is the at least here. These are a couple of these or duh, right? San Francisco is definitely a duh kind of division. So was hey, who did I pick? Detroit. Why do I have DI? I don't know what the fuck I got. I got DIL. I feel that for the most part on the surface, everybody kind of sees the same thing. Detroit has a strong possibility of taking the NFC North, right? I don't think I don't know how many of us agree on what's going on in the NFC South, but honestly I'm looking at the solid at who has the most reliable quarterback play. Like I said, the whole rest of the teams can't quite figure out what's going on there. And while the Giants believe they have their quarterback, they don't. I don't believe that they have their quarterback, and I don't believe their quarterback is a believable quarterback. I know a lot of people can say the same thing about the New York Jets. It's fine, but this is between the Eagles and the Cowboys to win this division. It fully is. Washington and the New York Giants are really just along for the ride, and the Giants and the Giants and the Cowboys are there, just to keep the division relevant. But we don't have Dallas and New York to talk about. That is one of the more relevant divisions, right? That's probably one of the divisions that get talked about the most. You have Philly, Dallas, New York, and Washington, DC in this. Like you gotta there's a part that figures like, yeah, this is that's the division that gets all of the media conversation. And rightfully so. Rightfully so. I mean, who wants to hear daily about what's happening in Jacksonville, Tennessee, Houston, and Indy? But that is your AFC South, right? And in the AFC South, of those teams, again, this I believe is hypnotic, automatic, something something funky, fresh, right, right, right. Ow, shit! It's been a while. Ooh, that one's always pierced. Right, right. But this is Jacksonville Jaguars division. The rest of the teams they just aren't believable. Like we see you, but we don't believe you. That's what now I got to figure out. Like who are going to be some like the wild card teams coming up in the NFC. And let's start off by putting the Dallas Cowboys in there. Very first one. We'll round out the wild card seeding on next podcast. Right? Oh shit, wait a minute. I know I haven't gone 30 minutes yet. Okay. Whew. But yeah, we'll round that out next podcast for you guys. But because like I said, as you can see, some of these divisions are going to put out one, two, maybe even three. But some of these are just gonna be one off, one off, one off, one off, one off. I think I saw another one here that I believed in. Because I don't believe it's gonna be Philly, Dallas, and Washington. That'll be wild if Washington makes that kind of statement, that kind of claim. But like I said, for the AFC South, we're going Jacksonville. And the NFC North, right? Where we got the Cincinnati Bengals, Pittsburgh Steelers, Baltimore Ravens, and the Cleveland Browns. This is one of the divisions where you can see every single team making it. You could see it. And you can see it's also one of those divisions where every single team in this division could be above 500. Very oddly. Because if the Pittsburgh Steelers are the worst team in this division, and you believe that Mike Tomlin will continue his streak of never having a less than 500 record, hey yo, cuticles are thick today. Then this whole division could make it. Cincinnati started off slow, and they are going to be slow because Joe Burrow's coming back from an injury. So if you start looking at first four games, it's kind of a super extension of preseason, right? You have to figure while there's some there's some leeway to make here. You don't want to be overly judgmental at all of the bad play that you see. It just means that some guys maybe haven't gotten into their stride yet. And based on the fact that we've seen Cincinnati do this already, maybe that's the faith that that they're doing this again. So Cincinnati, I can see start to jump towards the top, but Pittsburgh is still no joke. The Baltimore Ravens are still the Baltimore Ravens, and the Cleveland Browns have have one of the best running games in the league to go along with Deshaun Watson, who was finally trying to get back into football shape and figure out what he's doing now. That's another team that we won't talk a lot about. And remember I mentioned earlier everything is kicking in? Nope. Lies. Lies, lies, lies. Everything right now is kicking in. I'm telling you this right now. I believe right now the Benadryl has officially hit its course and its maximum peakage. Let me see. That's about 2 hours into the show. Jeez. So it takes 2 hours for the Benadryl to fully kick? When did we take this? It's right at the start of the show, right? And here I am 2 hours in, and I'm finally like, yo, I'm having a problem holding the heads high, kill them with the. I know you guys already felt like. So either my voice's tone has gotten softer, and it's noticeable, right? Or my head is officially muffled, and everything sounds lower to me. I haven't been able to determine which one that is, but I can tell you. I told you. Stop. You can't just keep playing whenever you want. My show. I run this shit. Means that I'm responsible for all fuck ups. I fuck up. Let's fuck up. Let's say hello to all the bored nerds and people out there. Alrighty. That's time for a recap. You guys saw that. It's fully time for a recap. So, like I said, if and also if you look at someone and what we do is that after I pick these winners, right? Next week, next show, whatever, so we'll keep expanding upon this, right? And what we'll end up doing is that I'll end up giving you the not just the league winners, right? But and also the bench individuals. But I'm also going to give you their odds to win it. To eventually give you their odds to win an NBA champ, a W, an NFL championship. Now, like I said, the NFC North is one of the AFC North is actually probably one of the toughest divisions because everybody in that division has real pride, and that's the and maybe that's the best way to describe that division, right? Is that everybody has real pride. And it takes almost a superhuman team to come out that division. To me, I'm gonna go Cincy. I'm gonna go Cincy to come all the way back from 0-1 at the bottom of that division and come back. I know I'm picking Baltimore. I think I'm picking Baltimore. By the time Cincinnati gets right, it may be too late. The only thing that worries about Baltimore starts off hot and then they fade off at the end, which means that if they get on a streak, they will leave the door open for Cleveland and Cincinnati to be able to snatch that number one spot from them. You heard it here first. And that's just how they they make me nervous. Next up, we have the West, so it has the Broncos, right? And obviously Broncos with Mr. Unlimited, Russell Wilson. What did I think he was at earlier today? I ain't gonna lie to you. I mentioned the team earlier today, and for some reason I thought he was there. But I could be thinking about Deshaun Watson. Who knows? We got the LA Chargers, the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Las Vegas Raiders. And this is one of those you got to prove it to me that you can truly beat them. Now I know my next pick is going to go 100% against this, but you have to show me that you can beat them, and that's about Kansas City specifically. Until you are shown that you can continuously sun them, I can't. And I'm talking about not just the division rivals, every team on their schedule. A 0-1 start to a Detroit Lions team that, like I said, we have winning the division too, but we have them as the most roughest, toughest, ankle biting, like shin splinting, kneecap breaking, grizzly gobbling, rudeness tooting, racking, fracking, and low down shooter in the land. That's them. That's them. So I can see them getting caught off guard by maybe the physicality or the intensity and the tenacity, right? That Detroit came out with because they had all of those. They had all of it. I'm still picking Kansas City to come out on top here. And then the one with my team in it, with my team sitting up top, don't believe that the New York Jets are gonna be able to maintain their early stranglehold on that division, right? The Buffalo Bills, you also don't believe to continue to be an unwinnable team. And the New England Patriots has a pretty good gosh darn defense, but none of them have a cheetah, a lion, a ostrich pumped up on Mountain Dew and jet fuel. So I'm picking the Miami Dolphins to win this division. They should. Without Aaron Rodgers, without the New York Jets, don't have a chance to win this division to me, which means that this comes back down to Miami and Buffalo. And Buffalo can't afford to start slow. A lot of these teams can't afford to start slow, but Buffalo can't afford to start slow. Just like Miami can't. So as dynamic as Miami's offense has looked, with the actually, you know what? We're transitioning. Believe it or not, we're transitioning into our first pick of the day. And since that's the case, and it's gonna be a game revolving Florida, let's go ahead and bring in our nice little.
Caught on camera in Florida.
Florida man decided to bring an alligator with him while making a beer run. That's more weed than cocaine.
I'm taking a nap as soon as the podcast is over. I may get 2 hours unauthorized nap time in. Maybe it is authorized. I just told you guys about it. So the Miami Dolphins are going to be playing in the afternoon game versus the New England Patriots. Right now, they are a 3-point favorite to win this game. Which means on a neutral site, they probably think New England wins. Actually, yeah, no. You go to Miami, this probably ends up being -6, from the way I understand things. Yeah, never mind. So first guy that I'm going to give you is Miami, New England, right? As you know, I like to stay within the division. I will go through the rest of the division picks on Friday. Wait, what am I saying? Today's Saturday. We go through all the picks. We're going through all the picks. Actually, I think I already did the picks already. Miami, New England, Buffalo, Las Vegas, Jersey, Dallas. So Miami and New England. This may be the best and worst thing that happens this week. And I'll tell you what. For Miami Dolphins fans, this is probably the worst thing that can happen to you guys. Because the formula still stands. Young quarterback. Bill Belichick has enough in his arsenal to throw at you to make you look stupid. The game plan that Miami Dolphins utilize, and hopefully it's a bad game plan. Because if it is a semi-decent game plan, this game is gonna be the foundation on how to stop the Miami Dolphins. That's why you hate it. That's the true reason of why you hate this game if you're the Miami Dolphins. If you're the rest of the league, you love it. Because you may get a chance to take a look on how to slow down what honestly is one of the most dynamic teams in the NFL today. You're talking about running guns. Oh my goodness. It's like Superman throwing football passes to the Flash. Kaya, my dude. Let me slow down. But this is how this looks. Let me see if the odds have changed any. Was it at 3.5 before? The odds were 2.5 in Miami's favor. And now it's raised up a whole point. Half a point. which means that they thought that Miami will win by a field goal. But it has to be exactly over. It has to be over a field goal, right? And that's what ended up happening when I look at that. And I see 2.5 versus 3.5. It's like, nah, if we allow this field goal here, then this game is gonna be different with that field goal. But with us put on at the field goal number, like now people really got to determine what they want to do. Everything's hidden. Everything's hidden. Everything's hidden. I'm gonna take. I hate to say it, but I'm gonna take New England to win this game. And if I'm not mistaken, New England was a +3, so they have to score more than 3 points for them to be able to get this victory in the lines. I say they cover the spread. It's a 5-point game. Oh shit! I tell you, it's hitting me. Everything is hitting me. I'm gonna take a nap. I'm taking a nap right after this. Now let's get into the rest of these football picks. Right? We have Green Bay Packers at Atlanta. Atlanta currently right now is favored by 2.5 points. I'm gonna see how I'm gonna test Green Bay, and I'm gonna pick Green Bay to win this game. This is a big test. This is a really big test for Green Bay, right? They have the Las Vegas Raiders. All right, you heard me talk about this on Wednesday's podcast, where they were a 9.5 point underdog to the Buffalo Bills. Well, now they coming in an 8.5 point underdog to the Buffalo Bills, folks. And I think we are still big Buffalo to win this damn game and to cover because they have to. They had a really bad heartbreaking loss to the Jets last week, and this hopefully ends up becoming a statement game when they show people that hey, we went what we put on film last week, and that's really what you're gonna hope for a lot of people is that this week's games, right, and even next week's game is them starting to say, hey, what you've seen of me so far is not me. But by week 4, these things should be cleaned up. Definitely by week 5. All of it should be cleaned up. No mercy after that. If you're still a bum by week 5, you can get dropped. Quicker than a rock bottom. Quicker than a Stone Cold Steve Stunner. Like I said, I got Buffalo. I got Buffalo winning that game out of pride. They're going to want to come back and put on a good standing. And also to cover that spread as well of 8.5, even though that is a lot. We have Baltimore at Cincinnati, and Cincinnati is at a 3-point favorite. Sorry, told you things are hitting. Sorry, Cincinnati is a 3-point favorite. Now, because of the fact that I have Baltimore winning that division, I'm gonna have to see Baltimore taking this dub here. But because Cincinnati took their L last week, I see them being desperate enough to need it. But I don't see Joe Burrow being healthy enough yet. His health factor is a major concern for me. So if I am wrong, it's because he ends up looking way better, shape-wise, movement-wise, pain tolerance-wise, injury-wise, than he did the previous week. Right, we have Detroit coming in as a favorite at versus Seattle of -5. I am gonna take Detroit to win this game. Flat out, I don't know if they cover that 5. We got Indy versus Houston in one of the biggest I don't give a fuck about bowls. But if I had to pick one, I'm gonna go with the whole team. And you can tell Vegas wasn't too sure about this either. This came in with a -1 scoreline. Yeah, -1. We got Jacksonville over Kansas City. Kansas City is another one of those teams where you don't see them losing twice in a row. This is where pride and personal professionalism comes into play. Yeah, you heard me. Pride and personal professionalism comes into play. That's what happens here, and they're gonna have to be serious about. They are going to have to be serious about winning, because if they fall down 0-2, I don't care how good you are. I don't care how bad you think this division is going to be, and obviously it's not going to be that difficult. You're gonna have to start off by getting the victory for week number 1, right? Getting the victory on week number 2, so you can erase whatever happened in week number 1. Now, but I even thinking I picked Kansas City for again, and I put them in my pick. But I'm going Kansas City. I'm definitely going Kansas City. Chicago versus Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is a 2.5 point favorite, and I'm gonna go ahead and go with Tampa Bay. And I honestly believe that they cover as well. Right? I honestly believe that this is one of the ones where they cover. Who do I have covered? So I got Buffalo covering. I got Tampa Bay covering. Thought I had somebody else. Right, we got the Chargers versus Tennessee. Chargers are 3.5 point favorite. And Tennessee finds themselves as the underdog, and I believe that LA Chargers also comes in here with a way to try to win this game. Tennessee is going to have to try to figure out what's going on with their starting lineup, their QB, and everything else. And until that happens, these kind of questions and this game is going to continuously be a difficult season for them. Now, that wraps up actually the early games for the NFL Week 2. Now for the later slate of games, where you have the San Francisco 49ers going into LA and taking on the Rams, where they have San Francisco as a 7-point favorite. I just like San Francisco here. I don't know if they cover that spread. I really don't. I'm going to expect the LA Rams to come in here with a little bit of pride and not get mollywopped all up and down the field. So, yeah, I am actually going to take San Francisco here. The New York Giants. I wonder if I should save this for last. Right? Because, as I said already, Miami should beat New England. Right? And obviously, I want the Jets to beat Dallas. But Dallas and their 9.5 should beat the Jets. But I'm going to tell you this. I don't believe that they cover that spread. Right? Yeah, I'm going to tell you this much right now. I do not believe that they cover that 9.5 point spread. So I'll let your boy. Let's see. We'll take a little look in a minute to see later and see if it's any better odds. And then last but not least, we got Washington versus Denver. This is another one of those weird games, right? But let's see if one of the things that Russell Wilson starts to do is start plays with his legs a little bit more. Like that may be a little bit more beneficial. We seen him gashing the defense the other week, and I was like, ooh. So while I do know right now is a 3.5, Denver is a 3.5 point favorite over Washington. I'm gonna say that Washington defense travels, even though Denver has a decent defense as well too. I'm gonna say that Washington defense travels, and they're gonna get themselves a nice little dub. Now that brings us into the Monday night games, where we got 2 games slated for Monday. You guys want to do talk Jets Dallas? You guys suck. I know I skipped them. Dallas has a better team. The Jets don't have their franchise quarterback. Right now, it should be a molly whopping, but it should not be a 9.5 point favorite. Like I said, I have the New York Jets at least covering the spread. This is not going to be the same kind of game that they had with the New York Giants. The Dallas Cowboys actually need to. The Dallas Cowboys actually need to hope that their quarterback isn't running for their life. as they get a chance to see how good this defense is. That's the thing I be wondering about teams that have good defense is that do you make life hell for your offense and your quarterback on your team so that he can realize that listen, if you guys start being able to be productive against us, you can get anything in the league because we don't play over here. First game of the first of the Monday night matchups is going to New Orleans versus Carolina. And boy, have I never seen or heard of a shittier set of games that need to be determined. I am sorry. This is bad. And when I say this is bad, I mean like this is bad. Because neither one of them. Oh my god, my head hurts trying to pick this one. I think I skipped this one yesterday too. But neither one of these teams deserve any nice thing that goes their way. Like seriously. No, seriously. How is this even possible? How is this even possible? So right now, New Orleans is a favorite by 3 points, and that lets you again see that 3 point number. That lets you know that you know what this could easily be 3 points going the other way, and I can fully understand. These are the tougher games to pick, but if I had to, oh man, I'm picking Cleveland over Pittsburgh. I have a little bit more faith in that one. I really do. As Pittsburgh is a 3 point underdog as well. But I have a decent time picking Cleveland on this one. I don't have that same kind of conviction for New Orleans or Carolina. But Carolina has that super young quarterback that just kind of looks lost. Let's see if his lostness can get him a dub. Because something got to give. I got holes where you hide. I hustle where you live, and he's gonna have to hustle. They got to hustle themselves for a couple of points. They can't. They can't be like the Giants and look that inept anymore. And I think that does it, folks. Let me see. Were there any off-topic things we wanted to talk about? I know there was the conversation with the Bills owner sending the racist comments. We'll talk. We'll continue to hear about more information coming out of there. What else do we have? Like I said, don't forget about the Colorado Bowl game. Right, that's going to be at 10 o'clock tonight. God damn. Right, WNBA action continues this weekend. Actually, no, continues on Tuesday. Actually, so we'll have a couple of games. We have a couple of days to continue. We'll have a podcast that we'll end up doing before that. Again, folks, I want to thank you guys for listening to the podcast. I appreciate all the listens. I appreciate all the follows. I appreciate all the likes. I appreciate all the shares. All right, you've been a wonderful bunch. I want to thank you again for paying attention. I want to thank you guys for listening. All right, don't forget, anytime you ever have any comments or questions, you can always hit me up in the DMs. And also, hit me in the DMs, and we will address these questions again on the air. Regardless of what kind of questions. Maybe I'll start doing those question columns. All right, can you do me a favor? Can you play my outro so I can stop rambling, please? Like, thank you.